Hey guys, it's me Maro, and let me tell you something. From now on, for every single video that I make, I'm gonna mention how my Evangelion review was my worst video that I've ever made. So let me redeem myself by making another review, a better one, involving Evangelion. But instead of talking about the anime or movies, let's talk about merch. Now, you probably assume that I mean a model kit, since there's, a lot of them. And even though I do have some model kits, I'm actually just going to be talking about a figure. What figure specifically, you may ask? Well, allow me to show you. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Robot Spirits Ava Unit 1. A perfect figure, really. Why is it perfect? Well, stick around and find out. If you've seen my channel before, you know who Ava Unit 1 is, but to simplify it to those who don't know, she is a giant robot from the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. Well, technically for this version it came from the Rebuild movies, but yeah, she's a giant robot that fights monsters called angels to protect the world. And then causes third impact. The movie's been out for 12 years, shut up. Just like my previous review, I'm going to talk about this figure in separate categories. Here they are on screen. This box is fucking awesome. You got the colors and images of Unit 1 on the front and the sides, and on the back of the box you got more images of her, along with a clear plastic bit that would show the figure. Also, this is cool. But enough about the box. Let's move on to the thing you actually all came here for. The actual figure. Now, automatically, this figure looks beautiful. With the paint and the sculpting on this figure, it makes her look very accurate to how she looked in the final movie. I'd say the only part of the sculpt that looks a little off in my opinion is how wide the head is. It should look more like this. But other than that, everything looks really good. She's got the human-like proportions like every other Ava unit, and again, she looks very accurate. Also, if you're wondering, there's no teeth on the inside of the mouth, so yeah, sorry. Like I said before, the paint looks really, really good. It's also helped with the fact that the paint is very durable, so you won't have to worry about paint chipping. So not only does the figure look really good, it's also really fun to handle. Again, the paint chipping is, it's not going to happen because the paint's really good, but also, there's internal die-cast metal, and also die-cast metal with the joints, so, it's really fun to handle, it's got a little bit of heft to it, so, that's good, because, you want to handle this figure. In other words, it's time for the articulation. We got, I think, a ball joint at the head. If it's a ball joint, it's very limited. A shift at the neck piece, and a ball joint at the base of the neck, so she can look up very high and down a bit. We also got a hinge joint at the mouth. We got a ball joint at the shoulder panel, so you can get out of the way when moving the arm ball joints. It can do a full 360, a bit of a butterfly movement, and it can move out pretty far. A double hinge joint at the arm, and a double hinge joint at the hand. Also swivel. Coming to the body, we got 2 hinges at these body panel things or whatever, and 3 ball joints at these segments, so you can have an arcing back and a crunch, and also a side-to-side movement. Then for the legs, we got a ball joint, so she can kick pretty far and move the leg back pretty far. Actually, I think she can do a full 360. If you extend the legs, you can get even more motion, so maybe you can do a full 360, I'm just not going to test it. The leg also moves this far out, a double bend at the knee, a hinge at this knee thing, a hinge at the ankle, a ball joint at this foot guard, a damn good pivot, and a pretty good bend at the toe. Also swivel. So the posability is very, very good. The joints aren't loose at all, but also not too tight. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But anyways, you can get even more dynamic poses with the included accessories. With Unit 1, you get 6 extra pairs of hands. Besides these normal hands, you get fists, spread hands, clawing hands, chopping hands, hands for holding the included pallet rifle, and other grabbing hands for holding the progressive knife, or this included Spear of Cassius. This is an awesome accessory, and when Unit 1 holds it, it looks fucking awesome. But there was one problem I had when I got this figure out of the box. The hands were way too tight. Like, way, way, way too tight. That's why they're not shown on the figure right now, because I can't get them on. Like, trying to remove the hands and replacing them, it's really hard to do. And putting the hands on is even harder. And I'm afraid of breaking the figure. At the time I'm writing and filming this, the hands are still really hard to put on, but I do know of ways to fix it, and I'll fix it later. But for right now, I just don't have the time to do it. Now that we got the figure stood up, she stands at around 6 inches tall, so obviously it's time for size comparisons. Here's the SH Monster Arts Godzilla Ultima, my previous review, the Neander's Nendroid, Robot Spirits AV Unit 8, Robot Spirits AV Unit 13, High Grade AV Unit 1, and Kotobukiya AV Unit 1. Last thing to cover is the price, and even though this figure is 6 inches tall, you're going to be paying quite a bit for this. When I got the figure back then, I got it for $90, which is quite a lot. And honestly, I should have waited for the price to lower, but right now on Amazon it's $78, which is definitely better than the price I got it for. So for that amount, I'd say definitely get it. So now that I've covered everything about this figure, what are my final thoughts about it? Well, I really love this figure. This is something that I really need for my inner Evangelion fan in me. It's just so good. The articulation is great, the sculpt and paint is awesome, and it comes with quite a bit of accessories. If I had to put this on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely want to give it a 10. But due to the problems with the hands that I feel like other people are also going to have to deal with, along with the price, I'm going to have to lower it to an 8.5. Even though I can fix the hand problem, it shouldn't be something that I have to deal with. And with the price, it really varies, so yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Also, since I didn't give the Neander's Nendroid a scale out of 10, I'll give that an 8 out of 10. So there you go. But anyways, an 8.5 out of 10 is still really good. Even though the figure has minor problems, I'd still say pick it up if you're a fan of Evangelion. And hell, if you want more variety, there's other versions you can pick up. Whichever one you get, just know that you won't be disappointed with your purchase. Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. For the reason I was gone for a little bit, it's due to me being burnt out after making some very long videos only a couple weeks ago. I'm also working on the next episode of the Avas, so stay tuned for that. But until then, thanks for watching and sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.